class. So today we're going to be discussing how to use a program called Gimp. More specifically, we're going to be talking about how we're going to crop two pictures together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Gimp. As you can see on the side, we have a tool screen. If it doesn't open up automatically, you can always just go into here and you can click New Toolbox and it'll set it up for you. In this case, it opened up the moment I just opened the program. So we're going to go into File. We're then going to click Open. Usually you can mess around with the dimensions of your images and stuff, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to stick to some standard stuff. We're then going to click on the very first image that we want in the background. So in this case, we have beautiful Ty Lopez over here. Here in his garage, he has a Lamborghini, and he's very happy with his Lamborghini, but he wants a Jolteon as well. So we're going to throw in a Pokemon here. So we're then going to click Open as Layers. It's very important that you don't just click Open, you need to click Open as Layers because we're going to be adding a layer. And then we're going to hit Jolteon 5 right over there. Awesome. So we brought out this picture. The problem is it's way too big, so we're going to want to reduce its size a little bit. So we're going to click the Scale tool right over here to the side, and then we're going to click the image that we want to reduce in size, which is this one. So we're going to click on it. And as you can see right over here, it's 800 by 695. We're going to reduce that to 200 and 200 over here to make it much smaller. That way good old Ty Lopez can catch his Pokemon. Perfect. So now you see it's about as small as his head. So that size is good. If you want to modify it a little more, you can always go back. Problem is it's above his head, but we need it here. So what we're going to do is we're then going to hit the movement tool. We're going to drag this and put it all the way over here. Perfect. Right in front of his finger. So now here comes the, I guess you could say, quote-unquote hard part. Even though this isn't really that bad, what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in, that way we can get a closer look at Jolteon. So we click over here and bring it into 200. And perfect. So now we have our little picture of Jolteon. And what we're going to do is we're going to touch this over here, the Paths tool. And this is going to allow us to crop out all of the white parts around the Jolteon. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by clicking on the tip of his ear. And then we're just going to click all the way down. So again, just left clicking all the way down and making little traces. You're not holding the button, you're just making swift, consistent clicks. And what this is doing is we're going to be scaling all the way around him, and eventually we're going to be done until we get all the way back up to this top point over here. If you make a mistake and there are some tiny little points, so let's say I mess up and oops, I go all the way over here, that's not good. You can always just go back into Edit and click Undo, Add Anchor. So you see, perfect. No harm, no foul, so don't panic if you mess up. If you have these more round areas, make sure that you're really clicking multiple times. The straight areas, we're lucky. Jolteon is kind of a very angular little creature, so you're going to see at some points we can afford to make jumps. Like over here, I'm just going to click jump right over there. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. No worries. Then over here, stuff like that I just did can be a little bit tough because the points are so close together. But again, if you mess up, just go and hit that undo button. It's really nothing to be worried about. So we're almost done over here. As you can see, this part's a little bit curvier, so I'm just going to click it multiple times rather than hitting straight. But you see over here, it's almost a perfectly straight line, so I can just hit once and it should be fine. Same with over here, same with over here. And now we're, oh, excellent. Now we're almost done. So once we reach this point, we're then going to hold on to the Command key, and we're going to hit the first one, which is then going to join everything together. So, and if we look over here and we go into Edit, it will say Undo Connect Strokes rather than what it said before. So we're then going to hit the Enter key. So now we've selected Jolteon. Now this is very important because you're going to have a very rough time if you don't hit this. You're going to go into Select, and then you're going to hit Invert. So now what this does is we've now selected everything except Jolteon. And now the final move is we hit the Eraser tool, and we can now start erasing this layer. But now here's the catch. If we go all the way up till Jolteon over here, notice how I can't erase Jolteon no matter how hard I try. And that's pretty much the entire point of what we were doing. We were cropping around the Jolteon to make sure that when we're going through this eraser tool, we actually can't touch him. So the specific details of the cropping were performed before we used the eraser tool. Because if you do use the eraser tool without the cropping, you could technically get away with just reducing the size of the eraser and going around him, but it's really not very fun and it takes a very long time. So this is a much faster way to do that. So now we've cleared everything up. If you want to, you could increase the eraser size to make this easier, but I find it incredibly satisfying to just mess around with it a little bit. And now we're going to go back into view. We're going to zoom to 100. Final little thing, we're also going to select none. That way it's no longer selected. And we are done. We now have Tai Lopez trying to catch a Pokemon. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Yay!